Welcome, Benzinga Nation. Today we've got great interviews lined up for you. We're one with Aris, who is the CEO and chairman of the board, and we've also got Dr. Angel, who is the chief scientific advisor for MIRA Pharmaceuticals. Ticker on the NASDAQ is MIRA. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
You know, it's always great when we have a conversation about ketamine and the other things that you guys are working on as well. But before we get to the details, Aris, if you could give me an overview of what MIRA Pharmaceuticals is.
We're developing treatments for neurologic and neuropsychiatric disorders. We're currently at the preclinical stage. We have two drug candidates, ketamine 2 and MIRA 55. I'll touch a little bit on ketamine 2. Ketamine 2 is an oral ketamine analog. And we're developing this to treat neuropathic pain, depression, PTSD, and unlike traditional ketamine that has severe side effects such as addiction and other safety issues, ours is an oral formulation that is a non-opioid and is designed to have high efficacy with very low safety, with a great safety profile. Our other drug candidate, MIRA 55, is a marijuana analog, and that is being developed to treat anxiety and cognitive decline. And the key differentiator between marijuana and our drug is that unlike marijuana that impairs your cognition, our compound, MIRA 55, has been shown to double memory in preclinical models.
Now, Dr. Angel, when it comes to like mental health, that's such a big key thing that a lot of people in America and around the world worry about. How does ketamine 2 differ from the traditional ketamine? And more importantly, what advantages does it offer regarding, say, safety, efficacy, or the administration aspect of it as well?
Well, ketamine 2 is a new drug with a very unique mechanism of action and a profile. The key points that I can outline in which it is different from classical ketamine is, first of all, its oral bioavailability. Whereas ketamine has to be given parenterally, namely by injection, ketamine is active orally, and this makes a very big difference. In addition, ketamine has a lot of issues related to its safety profile, abuse potential, and for that it's a regulated compound, whereas ketamine is a very selective compound, does not have side effects so far, and is not a regulated product. In addition, the profile of ketamine is such that it restricted very much its activity, although it is active in a variety of cases. Ketamine 2, on the other hand, has a very similar profile without a side effect, but also we know that it acts on a very specific site and what we call the NMDA receptor, and it does not interact with many of those activities that we see ketamine to be active. So we are expecting to have very unique, very safe use, which would not be regulated and which be orally available.
You know, I think it's important to note the oral aspect of it as well. I think that's key for people to easily be able to take the medicine in. Why neuropathic pain, however? Is this like a underserved aspect of it? What kind of market opportunity exists, Dr. Angel, in this area?
Well, neuropathic pain is very common. Many people, particularly diabetic patients, people that have shingles, people with other viral infections, but also people that are treated by chemotherapy, like cancer treatment, would suffer from neuropathic pain. Neuropathic pain is a result of some damage of nerves, somatosensory nerve, what we call, and it is manifested by increased sensitivity to even to touch or to pain. And these people would have durable, lengthy, chronic sensation of, it could be just pain, sensitivity to touch, sometimes tingling, but this may go up to lack of sensation in the feet or the hands. And this is a very big problem, particularly considering that there are several opportunities as drug or acupuncture or some other therapies, but those therapies are often associated with side effects and they give answer only to a small proportion of those suffering patients.
Now, what would you say to people who want to know what makes ketamine 2 novel, though?
Ketamine 2, as I said before, it is novel in terms of its mechanism of action. I can say that its similarity to ketamine gives us confidence that the drug would be effective even before we do the trial. But we found in some of our animal trials surprising effect where we were able to demonstrate that by oral doses of ketamine 2, we reach lack of hypersensitivity altogether. And at very low doses, we saw very significant effect on the model, a very severe model of neuropathic pain. We are currently exploring more of different types of model of neuropathic pain just to understand the breadth of and the amplitude of the different activities. But we think this would be a very unique and very safe treatment for neuropathic pain.
Dr. Angel, thank you for the insights there. Eris, where is ketamine 2 in the development pipeline? Because say, everything goes well. If all things go well, when would you hope to hit the markets?
So it's coming right up. We have our IND being submitted in December. And as early as next year in January, we anticipate to start our phase 1 clinical trials. If everything goes as planned, we're looking at a 3 to 4 year timeline before this drug can hit the market. So we're very close to getting to that target point.
I'm already excited to talk to you in the first quarter of 2025 to see how things are going. Dr. Angel, are you incorporating AI at all in your research, and how so? And if you're not at the moment, I'm curious if you hope to in the future integrate AI in your research.
In fact, we are incorporating AI in our program. In fact, very early on in the initial trials with ketamine 2, we have employed some AI-oriented programs, for example, to predict some of the potential interaction of ketamine 2, and we have used a broad database in order to use machine learning technologies in order for those activities to predict its activity. Subsequently, we have confirmed some of those AI-induced prediction with empiric testing. And we are on a very regular basis using AI technologies to improve our planning and to improve our understanding of the potential pharmacological activities and the potential profile of such a compound, which is innovative, like ketamine 2.
AI, whether it's for simplicity of the emails I need to edit or to do research like you're doing, it always comes into play.
Right.
Speaking of technologies and the landscapes that are changing in that aspect, let's talk money, Eris. How have you seen the funding landscape shift over, say, the last year or so for biotech pharma?
It's a very good question. And investors have become more selective. They're focusing on companies that have solid data, innovative solutions, and everyone wants to make sure that they're addressing a significant unmet need. And that's exactly what MIRA Pharmaceuticals is doing. We're innovating. We have solutions to address significant unmet needs, such as neuropathic pain, depression, treatment-resistant depression with suicidal ideation, as well as ongoing studies to evaluate PTSD. However, capital is still available for companies such as MIRA Pharmaceuticals. And we're looking at a potential breakthrough therapy here that could change the way patients are being treated moving forward. And we're very excited to be a part of this.
And then, Dr. Angel, you mentioned alternative clinical indications such as PTSD. How do you view their integration into your current development plan?
Well, we are starting, as Eris said, we are in the stage where we are compiling all the regulatory requirement for the IND, and those studies are going very smoothly. So we would be able to submit an IND late by December this year. But we would start very traditionally with the classical phase 1 clinical trial. However, in parallel, we are investigating the potential of ketamine 2 in alternative indications such as PTSD. PTSD is a huge and an unmet need and also a huge market. And then subsequently, once we go through the first stages, we may want to integrate additional potential indication like PTSD or some rare disease that may be amenable for orphan drug designation. And we believe that at later stage, this might enhance our arrival into the market beyond the one that Erez has mentioned. So this would be done in parallel, but this may give us some benefit in going quicker into the market.
PTSD, another big thing that a lot of Americans deal with, especially the one who serves. So it's great to hear that you guys are working on that. Last question for you, Erez. Given your current development timeline that we've talked about, when can we expect initial efficacy results in human trials for Ketamir 2?
Well, with the help of Dr. Angel and our scientific team, we're putting together a strategic phase 1, phase 2 study design, and results can come as early as 2025 in humans.
I've been saying it throughout the interview. I think PTSD, anxiety, depression, things that so many people around the world deal with. And I'm happy to hear that you two and your company, MIRA Pharmaceuticals, is working on that. So thank you for that. And also for your time here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it. That is Erez, who is the CEO and chairman of the board, and Dr. Angel, who is the chief scientific advisor for MIRA Pharmaceuticals. Ticker on the NASDAQ is MIRA.